We're good.
You won't.
We're good?
Yeah.
Is there sound? Oh, the mixer says there's sound. Can our audience hear us? Please respond in the comments below. Yay! What?
I can't with you.
Can our audience hear us? Yay!
Unfortunately.
Okay. Hello and welcome to Four Pines Quilting, Sewing, and Shenanigans. What? That's right.
No, I'm just.
I just made the title up so it can be right.
No, I'm talking about my counting.
Okay. Can you move the mixer off of the comments, Eddie, so I can see the comments? Thank you.
Here we go, Bill!
Yay!
Woo! Can you hear us, Ben? Bonnie, yay! MJ, Carolyn, woo! Party in the house. Oh, I forgot my apron and all my
Okay.
shenanigans.
So, welcome to Four Pines Quilting. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty
Again.
getting started, but you know, given the high budget operation that we're running here, some difficulties are expected.
Speak for yourself. I'm really expensive.
I understand that.
Very expensive.
I know. I'm waiting for the wool to fall from your eyes and realize what kind of mess we're running here. Anyway, so I have to do shop news today, as I always do.
You have to.
I have to. Notice I'm not in my normal seat to start us out because I was told that I'm making a fabric basket today. So it should be very exciting. Oh, that's a fantastic background. I can float around.
Ooh. To make us feel like home.
So, anyway, the most exciting is the fact that I'm gonna lose my cloak of invisibility because it's getting hot under there.
We want to see your handsome stuff.
My handsome stuff. I'm pretty sure that my handsome stuff. Anyway, so what we have is Nebula has come in. Yay for Nebula! Woohoo! So you see, our latest Nebula shipment came in. So we have blocks 5. Are we allowed to say that we have 6, 7, 8, 9 available?
You are.
Or am I supposed to pretend like we don't have them?
No, you can tell.
Okay, because I know how some designers get about. Okay.
No, other stores have given them all 12 even.
Okay, well I don't have all of the
Well, we
finishing
don't
kits.
need all 12.
All right.
Yeah.
So we have up to block 9 of Nebula. There's not 12 blocks of Nebula.
This
There's only
looks
9.
interesting.
So we have all the
Yeah.
the next 5 blocks of Nebula are available.
They look fun.
So
They look fun.
hey, look how that's kind of cool. So those are
Yeah,
available.
green
So if
screen
you are
is good with Nebula.
if you are signed up for Nebula, we have no more Nebula kits available. We have sold all of them that we had available. So for the 20 or so people that have signed up, they're here ready to pick up whenever you want. And I'm going to plug the Red, White, and Bloom kit one more time because this came in last week and we just got the next round of embellishments and patterns. So now we are fully stocked on these and ready to go.
I saw one of the girls I follow, Power Tools with Thread, did a block out of there already.
Yeah.
And I went, oh my, did anybody else see her, Power Tools with Thread? She's one of my YouTubers.
Power Tools with Thread.
Yeah, I really like her. She did, was this open?
Yep.
She did as a first, she's going to do a whole sew along starting the end of April, I think. But she did this one already. This lemonade one, is that showing? It's not really showing.
Okay, wait, I can go play the cameraman.
That is actually a picture with vinyl and free-floating pieces of lemon in it. Those are little wedges of lemon that are made with, what's that sparkly stuff? The glitter.
How did you forget glitter? Because we know how
I
much
don't
you love
know,
glitter.
because my brain is really wild today. But there's lemon slices that you make on water-soluble interface stabilizer by layering glitter and something else. Might be Mylar. So they're sparkle on both sides, and they're loose in this little picture. So I thought, imagine if you put that on a T-shirt. You could go around and go, shake me up, shake me up, shake me up.
I'm sure that's the first thing that everybody thought
Or
of.
you could say, add sugar. Add sugar. That's just the first one I've seen done, and I'm like, oh, that's right. And then this one, right here,
has bugs in it.
has bugs and lights. So that it's supposed to look like little lit up fireflies and
yeah.
dragonflies or something, but it's got lights in the mason jar.
If dragonflies start lighting up.
So of course I'll probably just sparkle it, bedazzle it up, because I burn out my lights too quickly.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, I was really thrilled.
So yes, we have.
Sorry, it's really got some.
We
cool
have like
stuff.
6 of these kits available still. So if you are interested in it, you need to purchase it online or call us sooner than later, because I don't imagine that they're going to last long. Because if it's anything like the other ones that have been out, the embellishment kits and all that go fairly quick as well. This kit has everything: the fabric, the pattern, and the embellishment kits to make the quilt.
Yes, this is right.
And it is $174.95. Just because 175 just is, $174.95, because that nickel makes it better.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's new. And what else? Oh, quilting turnaround times, we're still just at 3 weeks. We're almost caught up. So if you have a quilt here, like I said, we're about 3 weeks out. We're getting caught up. Hopefully this time next week we'll be caught up. But the part of me doesn't want to be caught up, because if we have quilts, then that means we're staying busy. Also, the move. Anybody that tuned in last week was all excited about the exciting news that we are going to be moving next door.
Not this way next door. That way next door.
Yes.
Closer to the liquor store.
Closer to the liquor store.
Not further away.
Well, then the liquor store is going to move, and it's going to be farther away.
No, but it's still closer than if we move that way.
This is true. I mean, we might offer a shuttle service for the liquor store.
That was going to be one of my questions. What was I so excited about getting bigger?
But we will. We're going to be shooting for May 1st to open in the new location. So just kind of put that out there. That gives us a month or so to get everything moved. So if you're keeping track, May 1st, if all goes well, we won't be here. We'll be next door. All right. That's pretty much all I've got for
it
the shoot.
isn't, because we have a virtual class coming.
Oh, I forgot about the virtual
and
class.
there was a
See?
question mark as to whether we had any seats available or not.
Yes.
This is why I'm here, gals.
That's a good question. I'm going to say that I haven't been able to confirm that we have more seats available yet. Next week for sure, I will let you know if there's additional seats available for the in-store participation of the Kimberbell Garden Guild.
And just so you know, I've been working hard on the samples. And the first one I did, I should have brought it. Gosh, I forgot so many things tonight. It was the You're So Radishing.
Mm-hmm. Did you put that on a t-shirt?
I did. Because, guess what? The radishes are 3D. They have little squishy foam in them.
And are they strategically placed, the way you're doing that with your
Well,
hands?
I had to make sure with my little boobies that they were up here. With Ronnie's, they could be way down here.
That's right. She's not wrong.
But my grandson is like, ooh, 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 ooh.
And how old's your grandson?
He's just turned 6 and lost a tooth.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. He likes...
Lost a tooth because he was running around poking
He
people
likes
and he got
squishy things.
Oh my gosh, this is derailing fast and we haven't even started. So, yes, Garden Guild is coming up April 11th. We will have virtual seats are still available for that. The in-store stuff, like I said, we may have a couple additional seats available, but I'm not going to know for sure till I'm going to say next week. Yeah, next week we'll know for sure if we have some in-stores.
Well, if you have one, I know somebody who really
Okay,
wants it.
so if we do, so that we'll have we may have a couple. But we'll talk about that next week. Tune in next week for the exciting conclusion of, do we have more seats available? Anyway, that's all I've got for shop news at this point, unless I'm going to be reminded that I have more.
I'm going to spill something that
Okay.
I don't know if you even know yet. But Brenda and I are going off for a little educational class.
Yeah, I heard about that.
You did hear about it.
Yeah.
I'm very excited so that we can bring back some
excitement.
some more knowledge. It's
Yes.
going to be a couple days of learning how to quilt with rulers on our domestic machines. You know how long armors have those fancy rulers?
Yes.
We're not using the long armors because of the height on these things. That wouldn't work. But it's other rulers and quilting with rulers on our domestic machines.
That just sounds like a pain in the behind, but you have fun with that.
And, well, no, they're going to show you techniques so you can start doing it before you have this big whoppy quilt top.
Yes, it's like a quilt as you go type thing.
Similar to that.
Okay.
Similar to that. I'm excited.
Okay.
I love learning new stuff.
See, so that'll be coming up. We'll have classes on that probably.
That'll be very exciting.
Probably what? Did you guys go on June, July for that?
Oh heck, I don't know.
So August.
Yeah, we're going in May.
Late summer. We'll bring that back.
Hopefully in our new classroom.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh yes, it will be in our new classroom.
Yes.
The new classroom. Yay.
Very excited about that.
Anyway, so I have rambled on long enough. I'm now going to turn the time over to Queen Bee to
Queen Bee.
to instruct us further.
Hey, and I beat fabric tonight. That wasn't
Look at
even
that.
planned. So, we got a lot to do, Brent. You're going to be a busy bee. Okay, but first, we have to do our quiz. Right? Is it quiz time? It's time. Eddie, it's quiz time. Eddie, it's quiz time. Woo! Okay, 3 questions, 3 answers. The first one to get all 3 answers correct wins. Hold your little trigger finger until you think you got all 3 of them. We want to see all 3 at once. Are we ready?
Yay!
1, 2, 3, go.
What did Becky shove in Brent's mouth? These are all based on last week's show. What did I shove in Brent's mouth? Do 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 do. This is time for typing. Do 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 do. Headless. Ride that cow, Brent. Ride that cow. Question number 2. What did Brent get nervous about me using on his valuable cutting mat? This thing that I can't stand cutting on. What did he get nervous about me using on his cutting mat? Do 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 do. I gotta bring me some music.
I've
Play
been talking to our producer.
keyboard. Do 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 do. And question number 3. What did I use instead of hot melt glue and binding to create our project boards?
You didn't use pins?
Boop 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 boop
Don't give out the
boop boop
answers.
boop. I just kicked him. Boop boop boop.
Was that the
boop,
answer?
Boop 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 boop.
Oh, I didn't think so.
Not like
I know.
Okay, what did I shove in Brent's mouth? Hi, Deb. What did Brent get nervous about me using on his valuable cutting mat? And what did I use on the project boards instead of hot melt glue and binding? Come on, peeps. Come on, peeps.
See, the problem with the unstructured time right here for me is I just want to make faces at myself on the
Here
screen.
we go. Razor cutter, duct tape. Yay, Bev! Congratulations, Bev! You won a $10 gift.
Do you have explosion
GC.
graphics, Eddie?
A
We need
$10.
explosion graphics
We
for
need.
next time.
I need more confetti. That was fun.
Well, we can do digital confetti because then
All
we don't
right,
have to pick
digital
it up.
confetti. $10 gift card. Oh, Deb, you got it. Not almost right, Deb. Sorry, Bev got it right
Bev beat her.
first.
She's higher up on the chat.
Yeah.
Yay for
yeah,
Bev.
she
For
did.
Bev.
Good
Yeah.
job. Good job. Come in and get that $10 GC.
GC.
GC to use on anything you want here in the store.
I like the thing we say GC is JC, and I'm like, why are we talking about Jesus?
No, I'm not. I'm
I
talking
know.
GC.
I know. I'm just saying it's
Okay, so that's really cool. Now, of course, I need to give you another turbo tip.
turbo tips.
Okay, now I feel stupid that I did not think of this on my
Turbo tip.
I feel stupid that I did not think of this on my own, but I did not. Somewhere.
Well, you can't think of everything.
Well, this one is obvious to me, but I'm like, oh, that was really smart. This was just something I ran across. I shouldn't remember who video I saw it on, but I don't. It was somewhere in YouTube land. Now, you know I don't like the aerosol cans, because I prefer the poo than the shake. But, Brent, shake that puppy up. I happen to have some I have to use up, so...
Remember the shake weight?
Yeah, okay.
I watched that
Do
infomercial.
y'all
I was
see
like, that's
these
just wrong.
things? Do y'all see these things?
You get those like at the that spray paint at the hardware store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take the cover off.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. put this on here.
Ooh, why didn't I think of that?
That's what I said.
If I remember how to do this.
You slide it right on. Don't spray it towards me, Brent. Jeebus.
Well, it's...
I'm already stiff enough.
Why isn't it popping on like it's supposed to?
Come on,
There we go.
He-Man. Okay, yeah. Woo! See, now, is that... Okay, now, show back in the camera.
Well, I want to make sure it's straight.
Oh, okay.
Look at that.
So, yeah. So, guess what?
That looks pretty mean, too. It's like...
Because you can just... I'll demo. This has already got stuff on it, but what the heck? Watch this. You know how your little finger gets hurt? Gets a dent in it?
Mm-hmm. What's the poor little finger hurt?
Just like a spray paint, only
Yeah.
it's... Oh, that smells good.
Yeah.
Only it's starch.
It's pretty
Come
fantastic.
on, how many of you knew that? How
I
many
never
of you
would
knew
have
that?
thought
I didn't. I know, and I had this from painting some furniture.
Yeah.
And look, feel it. It's really there.
So why don't we get like a whole air compressor setup?
I won't sit.
Like
I just thought this was ingenious.
It is. That's a really good idea. I never would have thought of it.
I know. So there you have it.
Yeah.
That is my turbo tip.
And
These are spray can
and
holders.
according to the package, it's $5.99
at Hobby Lobby.
at Hobby Lobby.
I got it, but you can get this.
It's all right. You can shop at Hobby Lobby.
Our look for less shopping extraordinaire, Danny, actually gave me an update on poster boards for your project boards. She spent Sunday doing her usual dollar shopping and comparing prices on poster board. And she found that Dollar Tree, I guess she uses Dollar Tree as well. Dollar Tree has the big pieces of poster board that we use in project boards for $1. Now, I found 2 for $2.99 at Michael's, and I had a coupon, so I was happy with that. But all the time, Dollar Tree is $1, and it will look like the exact
What's
same
Michael's
board.
last name? And is he related to Joanne? That's my question.
What else can I spray with this
Probably
thing?
Mary.
Him.
I just thought that was so smart.
It is.
Especially if you do a whole back of something,
Eddie.
I would then break out my aerosol
Eddie,
for big
It's
pieces of
glitching a little
fabric
bit. Is that an issue?
instead of pump, 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 pump.
You get like
I
a
really
screen
would
glitch
light
now
this
and again?
baby up.
Oh, we need a
I
better
would
cord.
light it up.
All right, put that on our list.
I thought it was cool.
It is. I like it.
Okay, all right. Well, that's my turbo tip of the day.
Okay.
Now I have to re-iron this because it got it all wet. Okay, so Brent,
Yes.
have you seen all the fabric baskets that everybody's been making in multiple sizes?
Do you want me to lie?
No, I want you to be honest.
I have not. No.
Okay, well, they're all the rage. They're all the rage.
Of course, and that's
this
probably
is
why I
a
haven't seen them
larger
because I'm
one.
the last to know when a trend comes out.
This is a larger one. Now, typically, the ones you see, they have the lining is one color, the outside is another color. Notice what's different about, we need to get rid of the green screen, please. Thank you. This one, I should have thought about that when I chose the green. This
That's
one is
all right.
actually 3-colored. Now,
Because you're an overachiever, right?
no, Shabby Fabrics started me thinking. They posted how to use their magic pillow kits to make these delicious baskets. Well, I don't have any of the magic pillow kits. So
Okay, this sounds like a Lucky Charms commercial. Magic pillows and delicious baskets.
yeah, but my brain went to, I love that they're 3 colors instead of 2. You can embroider. This is not.
Juju's has.
Juju, a whole bunch of them. That's what I was going to say. The other thing you can do is embroider this front. They have great patterns at Juju by Designs and then everywhere else too. But Juju has some great ones. You get like 15 for $4 or something. It's ridiculous. And you can actually embroider anything you want on here as well. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool too. And I really like the 3 colors. I think it brings it up a notch. But then I said to myself,
So.
I would like a firmer bottom.
I think that's a pretty common among a lot of women.
So I took my basket up a notch.
But I have a question for you, okay, on that note.
on a first.
Think about this for a
Just so you
second.
know, if this is
Think about
lightweight,
this
it's
for-
fine. But I'm going to add handles to it and give it a
Think
firmer
about this
bottom.
for a second. There is not a rock song out there about small, firm butts. They're always like
You
about.
got work to do tonight.
Think about the seminal rock anthem by Queen. Is it talking about what? Fat bottom girls, right?
Okay.
Sir Mix-a-Lot. What is he like?
Bert, we got lots to
All
get
I'm
done.
saying is that.
Okay.
I'm just
Now
saying.
this is
that
this is
You've been
got
lied to.
little things, and this is one of those started out as one of those fabric boards you wrap your fabric around, and I can't stand them. So
Everybody thought they were a good idea at one point.
I use like magazine boards.
Yes.
Those I still use all the time. These with all these openings drives me nuts. But what it is, see, it's a plastic
It's
hollow core.
It's coroplast.
Coroplast. You could use foam boards in here too, but this is stronger.
You could use your scraps though, the skinny ones.
Yes, you
Layer
could.
them up.
You could. And what I did is I cut it 8 by 8, and you're going to learn how I came up with 8 by 8. And I got tons of different size baskets, but basically the bottom size is really easy to figure out when I show you the magic. Cut it 8 by 8. I rounded the corners because I could. And I created this little envelope, similar to like we do with mug rugs and stuff. You know, a little pillowcase. So that when you want to wash
Cute.
your bag or your basket, you can take this out. Because I think I can put like 4
And-
bottles of wine in there.
And coroplast is the same material as the political signs. So.
Yes, it is the same as the political signs.
So if you're
right.
wondering what to do,
With their old political. So basically, and I'll show you how to make this, but I made this cute little envelope. So that bottom piece can go in and out of it. And you just, when your basket's done, you just kind of stick it in here.
Are there handles on it?
I did not get handles on this one, but that's what I want to do next, to show you how to put handles, and any size handle you want. But speaking of handles, also on Juju by Designs, she has handles made in the hoop to sew on your baskets. That,
Been using it for Easter baskets.
yeah, that are really cute. But I wanted it to not be that cutesy, because I don't know, you can even embroider what you're going to put in it. And there's just so many things, and they come in. You can make any size you want, any size you want. We're going to talk about a couple standard sizes. But then I started thinking, you know, this is cool, but what would be cooler, Brent? What would be cooler?
I can't imagine at this point.
Taking this idea and say you just made baby quilt
Yes.
and you wanted to match some baskets
You had the leftover fabric.
and you had some leftover fabric. And these finish at 8 inches. So I took this little pattern, and I'm going to show you how I made it work. So when it's all done, you can have this as the front, and you can have it at the back as well. And then it will turn down with 2 colors that match this.
That's kind of
This
cute.
is what you're going to do tonight.
That is spectacular.
Isn't that cool?
It is. I like it.
So it
I'm
doesn't
kind
have
of excited now.
It doesn't have to be this block. You got those cool cats out there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Frogs.
Frogs.
Yeah. We could make a frog basket.
Anything you want.
And we'll
Oh,
put waterproof
but
vinyl on the
this is-
inside and go collect frogs with it.
This is also the space that typically you would embroider on. So what I'm going to show you tonight, if you wanted to embroider, you can. Also, you don't have to do this on the front and the back. You can do the back just out of this, but because it's you, I'm going to make you make a back. This is going to be the
because it's
front of
me.
our basket.
Oh joy,
Yes,
because it's
and
me.
you're going to make a back. Whoa, where's my back, Brent? Oh, I got a bear for you for the back of your
A
basket.
bear.
I might have to go get
Okay.
a bear because I can't find my bear.
We can go get a bear.
Yeah,
Does it need to be
he's
prepped?
probably on my mat with everything else.
Well,
No, that somebody else will get the bear. You got work to do. Sit
Okay.
down. You sit down. Brenda, will you get us a critter? Thank you. Can be any critter. You can just rough cut it to make sure it's bigger than 9 inches. Rough cut it out so I have plenty of room to.
What size seam
Show
allowance?
Brent.
I need a 1 inch, half inch seam allowance.
We're going to use a 1/2 inch seam allowance on
All right.
this. Now, what I do is I create my pattern out of, you probably have seen this, out of wax paper. I take 2 pieces of wax paper and I put them together, and I iron them together so it's thicker.
No.
ever do that?
When you iron them together, how are
Yeah.
you doing that?
You just take sheets, just like I use glue, I use freezer paper.
But is it like a sticky side on freezer paper?
Yeah, freezer paper has a waxy side.
Oh, so you put the waxy sides together?
No.
And you weld
You
them?
put the waxy side. Let's do a demonstration for those who need it.
Well, you're saying you're sticking them together, so I was
Yeah.
wondering if there was glue
Here-
on there.
No, say this is waxy. See,
Yes,
it's
I see.
shiny.
It's shiny.
It's shiny. This side is
Shiny
not
and
shiny.
new, yeah.
You put matte side up,
To shiny side.
matte side up. You take your little iron, which is probably turned off again, and you iron them together. And then they stay together. Now the reason I use 2 pieces is because when you go to cut, it gives you a thicker area to line your cutter up with.
Okay.
And you can use 3 pieces if you want to.
So, a quick question for you.
And then,
If you hit the shiny side of this paper with
Yep.
your iron, will it make a mess?
no, it'll stick to your iron.
Okay,
it won't make a mess.
It'll stick. Okay.
What happens, the reason why I use this shiny side is I can use this over and over and over again when I go to make something. You're going to see. We're going to
Yeah.
actually put it on and we're going to iron it down. And I use this so I don't have to keep remembering how to measure. I measure once. I make this pattern. And if I was making a different size bag,
The bears ran away.
no, that doesn't look good with my fox pattern. No. No, I need a guy.
The
from
bear's-
this-
the bear's
Oh,
right
wait
there.
a minute. I got it right here.
Oh, good. You don't have any more. of
We've sold them
those.
all. So, if you think that
You
if
have
you
5 of them?
We don't have any
as
more.
a pattern though, a lot of times I will use Peltex or Timtex as a pattern material.
Well, I have freezer paper.
I know, I'm just throwing it out there as a hint for other people.
Okay.
I think freezer paper is fantastic. I'm just saying I have Peltex up front, so I use that
I
as
use
Sharpie.
you're gonna see I use this for a lot more than just this. I use this for a lot of stuff. And I get the wide stuffs for things like this. This big bag. Right?
But the question
So-
is, can it be found at the dollar store?
I'm sure it can.
Danny,
This
is there freezer paper at the dollar store?
I don't recommend it. It's not unless it is
Brand name?
brand name,
But then it's probably like old.
because the freezer paper at the dollar store brand
doesn't have the good wax
So
on
don't
it.
buy your freezer paper at the dollar store.
unless it's a name brand.
Okay. All right. So basically, you start with to make this size, and you can make several sizes, but we're going to concentrate on this size tonight. This starts with a 17-inch square. So this was a 17-inch square.
So that would be a fat quarter, because a fat quarter is 18 by 22. So you can
You
make
can
this
make this out of
a
fat
fat
quarters.
quarters. You'll need 2 of them,
can.
one for the front, one for the back.
Right. Now, the first thing I do when I make my pattern is I also cut away on this particular size bag. I have 4 inches cut away so that I can have nice little, what do you call these now?
Corners?
Yeah.
Boxes?
Corner.
Box corners. Phew.
Oh.
So I can have nice little box corners that are easy to sew. I mean, there are other ways to do it, but this makes it so easy. So I notched out 4 inches on each side when I got my pattern. Okay? You with me so far, Brent?
Yep, but it's going to finish at 8 inches, right?
Don't talk about that right now.
Well,
This
I'm
is a
just-
17-inch block that all I did was notch out 4 by
Okay.
4. Keep it simple, Brent.
I'm
Keep
keeping it simple. I'm just
Now,
working through it in my head.
I got this cute little bear that I'm going to sew in so that he lines up at the bottom like we did on the front. We want to end up like he did on the front, which I have to find, which I can't find.
Okay.
Okay, first thing I would do if it were me, and it's going to be you,
Mm-hmm.
is this is where you fussy cut. Everything's based on a 1/2 inch, so I would fussy cut a 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way around this bear based on what you see on this panel. So
Would you like me to do that?
I would. You do that.
But I'm sewing this right, so you can't get mad at me if it's not straight.
I can get mad at you. I can and I will. So half inch from
I want the
Where
little,
we
I
wanna
want that
sew
little
it.
gray border on there, so I'm gonna go half inch from.
I want the little gray border because otherwise all my other math goes down the toilet.
Oh, you've already done some math for this.
Yes, I have.
Ooh.
I don't like with this ironing situation. Let me put this down here,
Okay, why don't you put that down there?
just so I have more room. I'm starting to make a big mess.
That's all right.
Not really.
So Eddie, did you put a cord on our list of things we need?
Yeah.
Do you know the specs on that?
Okay, now remember, I want to turn it into this. Now, if I were doing just a plain front without inserting a panel, I literally would cut 2 of these from my main fabric for the front and the back.
So you could just plop that on a fat cord and cut it out.
I would iron it right on the fat quarter and then cut it out. That's what I would do. But we're going to take it up a notch, Brent.
Of course we are.
So picture this is going to sit here, right? Right?
Yeah.
Are you paying attention?
Yeah, I was just making sure that our viewers at home could see what you were doing.
Okay. So the first
So I was signaling to our producer man over there. I was pointing out so he would know to go to the
Okay.
magic God's eye view of
All
our.
right. So the first thing I want you to do is take this. Whoops. Is this not 8? Is this different size than my fox?
I don't
That's
know.
gonna ruin my math.
Well, here's a ruler.
Yeah, this one's 8.5.
Well, I just take a 1/4 inch off all the way around.
Yep, you're gonna have to.
Okay, we can do that. That's easy enough to do.
I thought they were all gonna be 8-inch blocks. They're not. They're different sizes. So you'll have to pay attention to the size of the block,
But
just to do your math.
That's
8
what square rulers are for.
8.5.
Just to do the math, and I've pre-cut everything else, so I don't want to cut it again.
Yeah.
Making him do the cutting on this.
Because you know how I would have done this? I would have done any math. I would have just sewn some fabric around that, threw it
Well,
on
you're
there,
going
trimmed
to.
it.
You're going to. You're going to.
Also, just as you're watching this, if
Keep
you do
going.
want to be part of our live studio audience, contact us.
Especially after, yeah. Especially after today.
Especially after today.
Okay, nicely done, Brent. So the
All right.
first thing you're going to do, using a 1/2-inch seam allowance, is you're going to get out of here. You're going to put this over here, and your cutting's a little off,
I knew that was okay.
but
I can fix it.
it's
I
a
have
little
it.
cockeyedy. But that's
It could be-
that. It's the fabric.
It could be the fabric.
Yeah, this
So
is.
if you ever run into that, you just sew it straight and it'll work its way out.
Well, you know what I do on these blocks sometimes is I actually will take my iron. If I can't see where I want it to sew, I'll actually iron my sew line because they are fiddly.
Yeah.
It's not exactly square, even though you cut it properly.
Yeah,
See
line to
how
line, yeah.
it will be when we're done.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
I have full
So
faith
your
and confidence.
mission is to 1/2-inch seam this up here, 1/2-inch seam this down there.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's a bag,
Is it back? Okay.
so a little extra durability. You could do 1/4 inch if you wanted to, I think, but the whole thing is 1/2 inch, so I just kept it 1/2 inch.
What is that in centimeters for our European viewers?
It's 12.7 millimeters.
Oh, it is. Look at that.
Oh, wow. Oh, wait.
12.7 millimeters.
I have it on the machine over here too.
Kick you again. Okay, so Brent's
Turn
gonna
into a boxing show.
Brent's gonna be busy sewing over
I
here.
told you about midget boxing on YouTube.
Get going, get going. When
After
he's
you're done watching this,
Brent, this is what you're accomplishing.
YouTube-
Because I'm going to go on to a different part.
Okay.
He's accomplishing this. He's taking this block.
I don't
He's
see
going
him
to
doing anything.
he's going to sew the top. He's going to sew the bottom, and he's going to sew the sides on, which I have cut for him. These are your sides.
Will be very straight.
So it will, when he's done, he'll have something similar to this that will become the back. Right, Brent? While he's doing that, I want to show you how I use the freezer paper, as I have to do a lining. Now, normally, on your normal one, your lining would be exactly the same size as your exterior, and you just fold it down. Now, we're going to do something a little funky, but I don't want to go and make a new pattern every time. So I'm going to use the same pattern. So you're going to see me this is two pieces of a 17-inch fabric. So again, this can be a fat quarter. And I'm going to anchor it's probably not good for the board, but this board stinks anyway. I'm going to anchor this down.
Really?
It
After
does.
all the,
It's
after
really
how
bad.
excited I got about you cutting on it, I'm gonna iron
And
on
this
it.
is
My
not,
gosh.
this is not working. Might be because I'm doing it on that board.
We have to have
Or
it.
did it
You have to have
show?
it in there to put when you change the heat up. Yeah.
Oh my God. All right, well, I'm going to rough it. What I'm going to do is I'm now using this to cut this out. So pretend it's ironed on there. Brent, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Looking good?
Am I going too slow? Do I need
No.
to pick up my pace?
No, I don't.
So
I'm going to
faster?
cut this out of our lining on this terrible board. Oh my God.
You know why it's terrible? Because you
Why?
hacked it up last week with your X-Acto
No,
knife.
I used that one.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Oh my gosh. There's so many divots in this board. I might as well chew it.
Okay, so there's a question that are we related?
Me and you?
Yeah, but okay, let me
Stand
okay.
up.
Yeah, Eddie, okay, go, Eddie.
I can lap your armpit for you.
Did you want me to iron this or just sew?
You need to iron your seams open.
Okay,
I know, this is kind of
it's all right. You do what you're doing.
You're going to go around
I'm gonna
that
go-
way?
I'm gonna go
Okay.
around this way.
Yes, iron your seams open. I'm going to finish chewing my lining apart with the best I can.
Speaking of mothers, I wonder if my mom's watching. Hey, Ma, you out there watching?
She can't stand watching us.
She's probably like, what are they doing at the shop?
Teamwork, Brent, teamwork. All right. Now, when I get to these corners, you can put your little ruler in. I hate that this isn't sticking down. This is going to drive me nuts. I'm going to drop them. Is that hot enough for you?
Yeah, open my seams, all right.
All right. I don't like that iron.
Didn't you bring that one in?
I did, because I don't like
Because she
it.
doesn't like it. I like it. I think those are the greatest irons ever made. I'm just adding these to the sides.
Yes, those, by the way, are 17 inches long, because remember, our square ends up with 17 inches, right?
Yeah.
So those are 17 inches long.
So my question is,
We're making a 17-inch
are we
square
cutting this out?
after you make your square.
So why wouldn't you just cut that first and then sew it on?
Because I think it's easier to demonstrate
Okay.
and
I'm
then
just-
cut, because
I'm
I
just
did it
curious.
that way. I did do it that way, and I thought that's going to just confuse people when they go to sew the seams.
Oh, okay.
So I said, no, just sew them together like you've been told.
Yes,
and,
ma'am.
And then we will cut it out.
Wait, does your husband do the yes dear thing to you?
No, he goes, honey bun.
Oh no, the yes dear is the yes dear.
Honey
And then you get all
bun.
irritated because of the way he says it.
No, he knows better. He does not mess with me. He's very kind. He gave me a sign a long time ago, and he means it. And I remind him, happy wife, happy life.
Oh, my brother's
And I have it hanging in my house.
my brother's quote is, "You want to be right or you want to be happy?"
Well, that works too. Happy wife, happy life.
What if you're right all the time? Doesn't that make you happy?
No, because with him you can't be right. You see, there's a plus and minus to everything, Danny. He's always right. Okay, now, if I were making the normal bag without adding any little colored thing to it, this is exactly the size lining you would make, 17 by 17. But, you know, Becky wants to turn it over, and then I want to add fabric to it. So I have to subtract for all that added stuff. When I do this, I'm going to use a 3-inch strip here, and I decided I wanted a 1-inch strip to show. Okay? So what I'm going to take off of this is, according to my notes, 2 inches. Where's that big ruler hiding? So I could have saved fabric by cutting this out, Brenda. I could have saved fabric, but if you're making handles, this looks really cute inserted into the handle. So you have a 2-tone handle. So it doesn't go to waste.
What's the question?
You got a half-inch seam allowance too. The old half-inch seam allowance I have to add back in. So I'm taking 2 inches off because I'm going to add 3 inches, but I have half-inch seam allowances on both pieces.
Okay.
So I'm going to hack this off, and I know I'm wasting, but I'm not, because I will save these for my handles. But if you want to fold down your pattern, oh, this board, Brent,
What's wrong with it?
I want a new one.
Are you sure you don't need to change your blade?
No, it's not my blade. Do you see this board I'm working on?
Well,
Usually I bring my own board.
we will upgrade the.
I'm still bitter about my board, so don't even go there.
What board? The painted,
There are so
the
many
painted the
ruts
butt
in
board
this
from
thing.
up front?
Okay, so this can be saved, of course. The other thing I'm going to do, because I'm going to put decorative trim on, is I cut these 3-inch strips. Now these 3-inch strips are 17 inches wide, because remember we're shooting for that 17 by 17 inch square. So what Brent's going to do is he's going to sew. Now if this was directional, by the way, like I had on this one, you want to pay attention to what direction you're sewing this in, keeping in mind that it's going to flip down. So if it's a directional like this, you have to reverse it when you put it here, so when it flips down, it's the right way. But for you, Brent,
Thank you.
I did not give you directional fabric.
Thank you.
Did you iron those out too?
They've been ironed out and
Oh,
everything.
nice. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to put those together, right
I'm
sides
not sure.
together.
I'm not sure there's a straight seam anywhere on there, but yes.
That's all right. And we're going to put this together, okay? You're going to sew those two together, and then those are going to get pressed open as well. And while he's busy doing this, this is supposed to be a 17-inch square. It's close. It's close. Let's put our pattern on it. Oh, Brent, look at that.
What?
Okay, well, it's going to be yours.
It's on the
You
back.
should not expect.
How do you know this is going to be the back?
I.
Let's look and see how close you are.
Then becomes a pump.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Is it way off? Is it sad?
it's sad.
Do I need it to get a seam ripper out?
No.
Can you make it
The
work?
nice thing is, with these bags, even Brent can make them.
See, you're showing us the true extent of your talent by making my mess work.
Even Brent can make these bags. All right, but before I cut these out, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. I can get some more room.
And that is just kind of a tip for our viewers. There is a lot of room for slop when you're making bags a lot of times.
On these there is. On
But
these
a
there
lot of
is.
patterns, there's a lot of room in there so don't be intimidated by a bag if you want to tackle one. Because a lot of times you can hide your screw ups and your,
Well, we got half-inch seam allowances, so we got plenty
yeah,
of
I'm just
wiggle
saying
room.
that, bags,
We got
some of
wiggle
them look fancy and hard, but honestly, there's a lot of places to hide your, which is why I don't mind making bags, because
Oops, sorry. I thought I shut that off.
that's all right. Is that like a news alert?
Yeah.
What's happening? Is there like a news?
Vaccination update for New Hampshire. Probably saying they're going to open the speedway.
Good news.
State to announce when anyone 16 and older can get vaccinated.
Guess what's
I
going?
know, but this is an update.
Guess what's going in next door?
What? I wanted to know if we knew.
I can tell you what's going in next door.
What's going in next? The
It's
big
gonna-
next door.
Yeah, the big next door. It's going to be a COVID corona thingy.
Oh, stop.
I'm not even joking. It's going to be like a state thing for vaccinations or something.
We got a new sub. I think that's more exciting.
I do too.
Yep, she's from Oklahoma.
We got a gal from Oklahoma tuning in, watching us.
Yay! Okay.
No, but it's
So,
it's
all
like
right.
really good for business because
This is
the target
fusible.
demographic of
This
of-
is fusible fleece. One side is rough. One side is not. This is where the glue is. Now I'm going to tell you, I am not the biggest fan of fusible anythings. I am going to make my next bag using Annie's Soft and Stable.
Yeah, I
and
love
just sew it in, because I honestly believe that will give me wonderful results, especially if I'm going to embroider. That stuff embroiders like butter. So
Like
I
butter.
am using this because that's what a lot of other people use. But next bag or next basket, I'm going to use Annie's. I think it'll give more structure to it as well.
Did you know that fusible fleece is like $3.95 a yard? And like overnight, it went to like $8 a yard because everybody. But I went back, people started making bags.
Oh, well, I like Annie's. And I'm not a fan of fusibles. I'm not. But anyway, again, this normally would be a 17-inch square. You see where we're headed, guys? Squares.
Where's your accent from?
Squares.
Where's your accent from?
I'm imported.
Imported from where? Now I gotta know.
I'm imported from Candia, New Hampshire.
Candia, New Hampshire.
I always like to say that. So I'm going to be careful not to get this fusible on my iron. Eddie, maybe you can't see me over here, can you?
I can fix it so he could if you wanted.
There's quite a bit of little ironing we're going to be doing. What's happening over here is I'm not ironing on the fleece side. I am ironing the glue to the fabric, touching the fabric. Don't ask me why this works better. I don't know, but it does.
You're ironing what? Again, I missed that.
I'm ironing the fabric to the glue
Okay.
versus having it this way and ironing the fleece to the fabric. I don't know, it gets stuck on this or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It irritates me.
You might also find that spritzing it with water sometimes helps with fusible fleece.
Oh, well.
Because water evaporates and becomes steam, and it's recommended that you use steam for fusing.
Well, I have a dry iron, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you have a dry iron, just spritz water. That's all.
Well, nothing comes out when it's dry.
I understand that.
Okay, and I'm being careful not to end up on my glue. All right, so I've done it already on this one. You see it's attached already, Brent?
Yes.
Okay. Now on this one, we need to turn it into our pattern. Where is it, Brent? Here it is.
Here it is.
Here it is.
Here it
now,
is.
you know me, I have issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't be seen. I'm not seen. There we go. I know this is the bottom of my bag, and I want my little bare bottom to line up with the bottom of my bag. So I folded my pattern back like this. Ronnie, if you don't care that your beer is running uphill,
I do.
you don't have to do this.
I think.
Oh, Brent, you did a very
I don't know.
strange sewing
Because you're
job.
here and she's sick of picking on me and Brenda.
Brent did a very strange sewing job, but that's okay. It's gonna come out.
I would say I'm just going to tell you, you knew what you were getting when you told me I was making a bag.
I didn't.
Oh, I can pull out samples of stuff that I've made, and you
Okay,
would know
well,
exactly what
Here's
you were
what.
getting.
Now we've got this sort of on here. You're going to cut this out.
With some scissors.
No, you can use your cutter.
Okay.
Let me give you some space, though. I see I got in your way again.
That's all right. Why don't we do scissors? Or would you rather use a cutter? I'll use a cutter.
Cut it out, guy. Cut it out. So now we've got the fronts all done. Now we're gonna do the same thing to the interior pieces. You have 2 of these, right, Brent?
Yes, there's another one there somewhere.
Okay.
But do you have the shorter ruler? The 12 and a halfer?
You know what? This could
Why do I feel like I just missed something there?
Okay, so, wow, yeah, even Brent can iron wonky. Okay, this will be cute no matter what. Now, on these lining pieces, what I like to add for durability and, again, for structure, is I like to put the shape flex on them. Gives it just a little bit more. If I were using, by the way, a laminated fabric, think of that for the interior of this bag. You could put laminated fabric in here.
That's what I said. With the frogs on the outside and laminated fabric, you can go collect frogs with it.
We can do all sorts of things. But if you're using outdoor fabric, you don't have to do this. It's plenty stiff enough. But if you're using plain quilting cotton, which many of us already have, then I would recommend lining it with the
Shape flex?
fusible interfacing shape flex is what I use all the time. But there's many different flavors out there.
I would also recommend that Decrobond is another good interfacing for bag making.
How thick and heavy is that?
It's thinner than fusible fleece, but it holds its shape really nice.
Oh,
So, what's
you
that?
do?
I like
Yeah.
You'd like Decobond?
Yep.
Well, anything that helps hold its shape is a winner. Now again, I am ironing the fabric to the shape flex. I'm being careful not to get it all over my iron because, you know, if I was using my Cricut iron, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't stick to it anyway.
Pro tip for the evening, if
What?
you do get stuff stuck on your iron, a dryer sheet helps clean it.
Oh, I have heard that.
Yeah, but
Depends on what you got.
Okay.
How bad it
So did you cut that one out, Brent? Did you
yes,
cut that?
it's been cut.
Okay. Well, this one you already got the shape.
So I'm just cutting.
So you're cutting the extra stuff off.
Okay.
Okay? You see what you got going here now?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it starting to make sense?
I'm seeing it.
I know. Now again, if you were just making it straight up, without a panel, you would just cut basically 4 17 by 17 inch squares and hack 4 inches off at the bottom so we have nice little areas to work for our corners.
Okay. See, your accent reminds her of Vermont, not Candia.
Huh. Well, sorry.
Now, MJ, are you from New England, MJ?
Some people think I come from down south, and I'm like, no. You know what it is? And this is the honest to God truth. I grew
See,
up.
honest to God, you know you're not from down south when you say things like that.
She sounds almost Boston.
I was just gonna say that.
I grew up with a father who couldn't pronounce with a hoot.
Say car.
Ka.
That's in New England.
See, I didn't know I had an accent until I went to college, and then they
there's
would laugh
still-
at me every time I said "r" or "car," and
There
I'm like,
are
I don't hear it.
Yeah, I don't hear it. Yeah, there's still words I cannot pronounce properly to this day.
Yeah, but see, I went to school on Long Island, and I can tell you, they can't even say.
Sarah has a wicked accent.
Wiki.
Mom's
wiki,
on! Hello, Mom!
Yeah! Okay, I want you to do the same thing to this one, okay? No, Brent, the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is not what I meant when I said cut it all the way around, cut the extra
You
fusible
didn't
off.
say cut all the
I
way
did.
around. You said.
Replay.
Okay.
I did. Get with the program,
Is
Brent.
that going to be next week's quiz? What did
Actually,
Becky
you know
tell
what?
Brent
I'll
to
finish
do?
cutting this, and you can move on to something else, so we can keep going. Because
I'm doing the hard part.
no, you're going
Cutting
to do
the
some
easy-
sewing now.
I'm saying cutting the.
You're going to take your 2 front and back pieces that. Oh, you didn't cut this one properly either. What's the matter with you?
You said cut the little
No,
jiggity part out.
No.
Well, because I just wanted you to have something to do.
I don't want this stuff in the bag.
Okay.
All right, you should be sewn by now, and you're not.
I know. Uh-oh, we're gonna go over time.
We can't. I'm trying to be good. That's
all
why I
right.
wanted to have a partner in crime.
Well, you know what my dad used to say about me?
What?
When I'd go help him?
What?
He'd be like, it's like having 3 good men on vacation.
Huh?
My help is like having 3 good men on vacation.
Ooh. Ooh, that's not, you need to keep going. You're not done with that.
Yeah.
Dad would say that to you?
Yeah, he'd say that to me. I mean, I know he'd love me.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Who told you that?
My mom.
Well, she didn't want to see a grown man cry. She felt bad for her baby boy.
Oh, the poor little baby boy.
Little baby boy.
Baby boy. Okay.
Brent was always
Hey,
her
found it.
favorite though, Becky.
I have found a good spot on this cutting board, so I gotta make sure I keep using it.
Of course, I wasn't the worst guy when it came to like doing stuff around it, because we were like re-roofing the garage once, and our buddy Spencer was there with us.
Did you ever fall off?
Well, there's a whole other story involved with that. But so we're up
I
there,
fell out of a hayloft and got a
and
concussion.
our friend Spencer was having a hard time, wielding the hammer. And my uncle, his wisdom comes up, and he says, "Spencer, you know what your problem is?"
God, Brent, look how
He said,
bad this.
He said, so what do you tell Spencer? He says, "Spencer, the problem is you're left-handed and you have a right-handed hammer."
Can I show off?
That's what was so funny about it, because then
Can I-
Spencer stopped. Is like, "Well, do you have a left-handed hammer?" You want to show off my awesome?
No, I don't.
Abilities?
I don't know how you got this so bonky.
See, this is what.
But the good news is, we're gonna be all right.
That's what I'm saying. People
We're
are
gonna
gonna
be all right
see a half-inch
because
seam.
mine isn't bonky.
A half-inch seam saves a lot of trouble.
It's going to in this case. All right, Brent. I'm almost afraid to tell you to do this.
I'm just
You're going to do a half-inch seam allowance
on the
along both sides and the bottom.
and the bottom.
And the
But
bottom.
I'm not gonna sew where I cut.
You're not going to sew here.
Okay.
Just,
I see
do
how
you
it's.
want me to mark it with an X?
No, I see how it's. I see where we're going from here.
Here, and here.
I
Half-inch
s-
seam
I
allowance.
s- I see where we're going from here.
Okay.
I see the end.
I wouldn't trust him.
I don't trust him in all honesty, but I think the audience will figure out what you're supposed to do.
See, the people watching this and coming into the store, they're gonna learn something, that just because I'm behind the counter does not necessarily mean I know what I'm talking about.
You're the one that quilts the quilts. That's what's scaring the heck out of me.
Well, I have a machine that does it for me.
Well, you still got to load them on straight.
Becky, somebody from the audience thought you said that your beer was running uphill. Your beer.
Bear, the bear.
The Bears.
Beer, I can't wait for Easter, man.
How do you get from beer to Easter?
Because I haven't been drinking. And, well, I kind of lied a little bit. I bought these, I told you, I'm going to hell for this. I bought
I'm
these
sure you'll be in
really
good company.
cool spring drinks that were pretty colors. And I wasn't supposed to get into them quite yet. But I had to try, it was called a Violet Cosmopolitan. It was really good. So that was my spring slurpers package.
Spring Slurpers.
Yes, it's got a strawberry margarita in it, which I have not dipped into yet.
Where do you get one of these?
I have one of those drink works. I told you about my bartending machine.
No, I think was it like a soda
It's like
stream, but with
my Cabana Boy. Because that's all I got right now during COVID. And he doesn't do.
Correctly.
Yes. He did well on these, so there's hope. It's just when there's multiple seams that he has issues.
a man's got to know his limitations.
Now, the next thing I'm going to have Brent sew is the lining pieces faced together after the shape fleck's been put on them. Now, if it were me, I would be careful to make sure my seams lined up beautifully here. But we know it's Brent, so we're going to cross our fingers.
What seams you gonna line up
These
beautifully?
seams. I would
Oh,
want
yes.
these to line up really
Well-
pretty because they
well,
go all around the bag.
I ironed them open, so it'll be perfect.
Okay, so you're going to do the same seams on this. You're going to do this one, and this one.
Yes, ma'am.
Half inch. And then you're supposed to iron these open, but I guess I can do that. Speed this along. I'll iron it
Okay.
open. Now at home,
Thank you for your help.
I use one of those arm sleeve things, and I forgot that today too. Cheaper. Oh my. I don't know that I can iron this open because there's mostly fusible on one
No,
of
it's
them.
because somebody didn't cut it straight.
No. Okay, we're just gonna not iron these all the way open, Brent, because I'm afraid that iron will get all gunked up.
Yeah, I agree.
So we're gonna hand press them open, okay? Normally you want to iron all your seams open to minimize bulk. But we're gonna pretend because some of Brent's seams have no fabric in them.
I tried to cheat it a little bit.
Is there gonna be a, oh honey, there's a hole.
Oh, give it to me. I'll fix it.
You're gonna make this more than half an,
I'm-
oh, no.
What?
This is what Brent calls a half-inch seam allowance.
Well, you know.
Oh, yes, thank you. Can you see that on the camera? It looks like, yeah, see that? That's Brent's half-inch seam allowance.
What?
We are showing you how forgiving these bags are.
Yeah, but how bad is it?
However-
Put the ruler on there.
Brent,
I used a laser.
look at this.
It's a. Oh, well, that's different.
Oh, that's different.
It's because I'm sitting down.
And look inside the bag.
Sitting down.
Isn't that how you normally sew?
What's wrong with the bag?
There's a hole.
Oh yeah, there is. Let me see. I'll
I'm
sort
going to
it.
show you all the bottom of this beautifully done bag. If you do this,
You need to sew it again.
yeah, this is an issue, people. Because this is on the outside of your bag. This is not pretty. So, Brent, you're going to do, I'm going to cut some of this off so you can do a much better job. Okay?
When the time comes up, no one's concentrating.
Who's concentrating?
He's
She's
so
picking on
his
my-
tongue out.
Oh, I'm cutting some of this off. To force you to catch that bottom that you cut short.
He is, tell Becky he is. Type to Becky,
I
he.
threw that. It fell on the floor, I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you. Is this your idea of a
It's from
seam
over the-
roller?
Yeah. Hey, that's my little gadget.
Do you like it?
Yeah, occasionally.
I like the wooden one better.
I have one of those. Where did it come from? Like, what was it from? Sewing? Because my mom's had it forever.
The
I
wood,
thought it was
it's,
all-
you know why I like the wooden one better?
thought it
It's
was a
got more
paper.
weight. It's got more weight to it. And remember, I have kitten wrists, so this is a lot of work
Does Tina
Thank you.
watch this?
I used to have a wooden one when I
at some point.
Oh, she should watch it live. I'd love to get her input, like kitten wrist. There's got to be a
She
story
made
to
up-
that.
She made that up. I told you the story already. I'm just making sure there's no more hold. Brent, your half-inch seam allowance is... People,
I'm blaming
if
it on
you
the-
have trouble with the half-inch seam allowance,
I'm blaming it on set
even
design.
though it's marked on the machine. Remember the tip I gave you with the washi tape?
Washy.
Remember the washi tape? You can put it on your machine.
You
So
read
you,
the first
Washy.
and we need some of that.
washi
Yes.
tape.
Somebody asked for it today.
Okay, washi
That
tape.
that stuff is
Well, we
so
were on back order for the other washi tape with the seam allowance written on it.
yeah. That's a pretty popular thing right now. So that's probably why.
Because we're so popular, everybody wants it now.
Good old washi tape, man. You buy and get them when they're on sale at Michael's or Joann's, or buy a package, break it up, because most people don't need a whole bunch of it like me. I have a
All
whole
right.
bunch of it for some reason. All right, you did it?
I believe so.
Okay, so normally we are busy pressing these. Make sure you have no holes in the bottom of your bag. You did a much better job on this one,
Because it
Brent.
wasn't fluffy and fuzzy like the fleece threw me
No,
off.
I don't think so.
I gotta have some excuse.
Okay, so everybody remember how to box corners? the way we cut it, it's a no-brainer.
Yes.
All you gotta do, are you paying attention? Because you need this lesson.
No, I know how to box a corner.
You bring it open here, like that. You bring normally we want these seams open, Brent, though. Oh,
Yeah, I know. Well,
this bag is not going to be a gift for anybody.
I'll bring it home and let the cat live in it. Because you know cats like boxes.
I'll try and do this in the corner. So then what I'm going to have you do is do a 1/2 inch seam allowance on these corners.
Yes.
On every corner, all 4 of them. Isn't this easy?
It is.
What time is it, though?
It is 10 after 7.
Oh, God, Brent.
What? We're almost done. Right?
Here. Mush, mush.
Mush, mush.
Mush, mush. And you're going to do the exact same thing to this one. Easy breezy. I don't know how you're going to open these seams because you sewed them more than once. So you just can nest them.
I'll make them work.
Go one way or the other. Go
Yeah.
opposite ways. I'm going to have Brent go opposite ways on these seams because
I was special.
yeah, he sewed more than once and didn't open them up. So here's a tip. Just crisscross them. And cross your fingers. All right, so we're going to do that. And then what you have, I'm going to show what we will have done is this outside piece. Colors. Almost there. And then what we're going to do after we stuff one in the other and sew around it is we simply turn it to however far down you want. I wanted an inch to show. But if you didn't want an inch to show and you just wanted it to be like that, you could. Or if you wanted it more, you could. It's up to you. Then I just pressed it. And I pressed it. I pressed the edges too, because I thought that made it stand up better. And then I put the board in. I'm talking while you're doing that, okay? I put the board in, but you don't have to have the board. It's all finished inside without the board. But I liked making this little envelope for the board. I think I cut my envelope at 9.5 by 9.5 for one piece, and then on the other two, I think I cut one 8 by 9.5 and the other one 4 by 9.5, so I could send them over to each other like that. Yes, I agree, Becky. I agree, but she won't do it. I've asked her 1,000 times.
Because the show would be boring.
It would be boring if I.
No, it wouldn't.
Because it would be done. You guys would be okay. I guess we're done.
Okay, so now we have a really nice liner. Brent, you did good.
Well, thank
So
you.
I'm going to turn the liner right side out so we can ooh and ours pretty liner.
But you see, even as awful as my sewing is, it's still going to come out fine.
We're
Because
gonna
like I said,
poke. These corners are really easy to poke. Just use your finger, or you can use a tool if you want, but seriously, oh, what am I doing? No, this is right.
Yeah,
this is
that's
right.
right.
Yeah. So isn't that cute? Isn't that cute?
It is gorgeous.
It is. And now this don't turn yet.
I know, because you want to put that in there.
Right.
And then we're going to line up the seams. I'm going to sew around the top, right?
Oh, man. But you're going to leave room to turn it. So
Yes.
leave like a 1/2 inch seam allowance and like a 1/2 inch, not 1/2 inch, I'm sorry, 6 inches, so it can turn easily. You should match up your seams.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've done this before.
Now there are people who don't do it this way. They do what they call the drop-in method. Have you all heard of the drop-in method? Where you make the liner and you basically press over a 1/2 inch on the outside and press over a 1/2 inch on the liner, set them together, and then just stitch all the way around so that you're not turning. That's called the pop-in. Official word, I think, is pop-in liner.
Poppin' liner? Like
yeah.
a poppin' lock?
Actually, the 6 inch you're going to leave open. I like to use a long basting stitch during those 6 inches. And then remove it when I go to turn it because you can press it and it gets the memory of where it needs to be, and you don't have to guess where you're going to fold it. It's like right there.
Are you gonna ask him to do that?
No, I'm not. I'm just giving that out as a tip for those. That's a seamstress thing. Like if you've ever put in zippers and stuff, we end up basting our seam. If we know we're going to rip it out, you use a long basting stitch so everything lines up the way it's supposed to, and you have the memory of the fabric, and then it's easy to pick it out later. Don't shut off yet, pumpkin. So, yeah, see? Yeah, and so if you have a turning situation like this, especially because this has got, stuff in there, and it can tend to roll when you go to turn it. And you'll see when I did this one, I made sure my blue rolled further than my pattern did, because once it turned, I did not want to see the pattern on this. I wanted just my blue to show against this pattern. It would look funky if it looked like that.
But I'm surprised you didn't use any glue.
I didn't, but one of the cool tips is, if you've seen that 1/4 inch seaming tape, have you seen the 1/4 inch seaming tape? That works wonders for sealing that little edge closed as well. And you could have used glue, smarty pants.
Jean Valero,
Yeah.
said she likes leaving opening in the sideliner seam.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen that.
Around the top.
I've seen that too.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's another good idea. She's talking about, thank you, Jean, she's talking about leaving the opening here in the side, down here.
One of the tricks, if you leave it at the top though, you don't have to hand sew it.
Well, you don't have to hand sew it in there either. You could use tape,
Yeah, but
tape
when
in there.
when you do this here, that's going to reinforce the stitch.
Well, what I like, you'll notice I used 2, because I wanted it to be decorative. So I took out my Floriani and got a pretty green. I wanted my stitching to work as not only closing it, but also as an
I
accent.
think that should work.
So that
Do you want me to turn it, or do you have to do something first?
no, you can turn it.
Okay.
That's why I chose to do it the way I did it, because I was gonna sew around this anyway. Also, by sewing around here near the edge like this, you keep it from rolling. Like if you laundry it, which I try to make mine laundry proof, if you laundry it, you don't want to worry about that rolling. So I like to top stitch, and you can use a decorative stitch around here if you want to, and that would be really pretty too. But I have seen them leave it here, and like I said, I've seen them just dropped in. Both 1/2 inch seam allowances ironed over or taped over or glued over, dropped in, and then do the decorative stitch around the edge. Now you don't have to do two decorative stitches either. I just chose to. Just going around once is enough. And some people don't like seeing the top stitching on the outside, which is another reason they would vote to do it on the inside. But I like the prettiness
All right,
of it all.
I think we're done. I mean, we got a couple more stitches, but we can show it off and say, "Oh, how wonderful!" Right?
Look at that. Well, we haven't folded it down yet.
And I even put the seam on the back side with the bear, so that the back is truly the back. You don't have to get mad at me for.
Now, what I would do next on this is I would really be careful about pressing this edge so the gray, which is the underside, is a little bit shy of the yellow, because when I turn it,
It is gorgeous.
when I turn it, I don't want to see that gray flip up. So this is when I tend to use my Wonder Clips. Now I know I brought those. I saw those. This is a good use of Wonder Clips. Because don't you go anywhere? You got one more sewing to do.
I know, but I was gonna zoom in so people could see
Okay.
you.
What
do
I'm
the
doing
wonderful
is I'm
magic.
taking my fingers and kind of forcing that gray
Ready?
to be I'm a smidgen, just a 30-second even, a smidgen below my yellow. Because when I turn this over, also another tip, if before you turn it, you attempt to press this seam open.
Yeah, I knew that. That's why I asked before I turned it.
Yeah.
But she was just like, turn it.
If
And I
you
was
press,
like, okay.
yeah, because time. But if you press the seam open first and then turn your bag, you're going to find this step of fiddling
lot
and
easier.
diddling it much
Yeah.
easier. Yeah, so I would probably do that. But so when you get to here, all you're going to do is, and that's why I said if this was already basted, right? If this was basted, I would have the memory. I would have pressed it,
Yep.
and I would have had the memory of the press already built into the fabric. So it would be very easy for me to, not that this is hard, but it would be.
Yeah.
What's that?
I couldn't visualize what you were talking about, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I would have used a basting stitch from here to here, pressed it with the basting stitch in it, then removed that basting stitch to turn the back. That way, all my pressing is right, you know, the whole 9 yards. Okay, Brent, come over here, Bubby. I
Okay.
want you to sew this closed.
Uh-oh.
Can you do it?
Yes, I can do it.
Now, isn't this the cutest thing?
It
I wonder
is.
if that baby quilt would even fit in this. Imagine this is a gift.
What's that?
Isn't that cute?
It
That
is.
is.
And not just the babies. I'm like, I've got to do my whole toy room. I'm telling you.
I've actually seen people do them as baby shower gifts.
Yes.
With the name, and then they do like a whole, like the blanket and the
Right. Oh,
the bib.
if you get into the embroidery mode, oh my goodness, imagine how cute that is. But I want to take my toy room and just go to town and have pretty baskets on all the shelves. But I want to get some laminated fabric because I think like for crayons and markers, it would be fun to have it laminated. So Ben, for the sake of time, you just need to go around the edge. A good 1/4 inch is fine.
Okay.
Or whatever suits your fancy. Just do it once so we can turn it over.
Yeah.
Isn't that? I can't wait to turn it. It is so freaking cute. Okay, now let's talk. While he's doing that, I want to talk about some other sizes. Because the math of the 8-inch bottom is really quite simple. I think when Shabby Fabrics did theirs, they did an 18 by 18 inch square to start with. That's because they were starting with the pillowcase pre-cut fabric. And they used a 4.5 inch cutout for the corners. The thing I want you to keep in your mind is the bigger the bag, the bigger I'm going to make those notches for when I make my, boy, that's a hard word for me today. Box corners.
Think of midget boxing.
So-
That's all I gotta do.
If I do a 21 by 21, and maybe we can put this on a sheet or something for anybody if they're interested. If I do a 21 by 21, I'm going to box out 5 by 5. Now, if I box out 5 by 5, that means I'm going to have a 10 by 10 bottom.
Yes.
Get it?
Yes.
See how easy it is to figure? So if I know I want a 10-inch basket, I'm going to box out 5 by 5 for my corner box corners. So a 17 by 17 that we've boxed out 4 by 4 gives me an 8-inch square bottom. So whatever these notches are, times 2 is the size of your bottom. That's how easy the math is. So if I'm making a little one, like a 11 by 11, because you can make all different sizes, remember you're starting with that square. This all starts with squares of fabric. 11 by 11, I would recommend a 2.5 inch notch, because it's a smaller basket. And the 2.5 inch is going to give me a 5-inch bottom, a 5-inch square bottom. So that kind of helps you figure out what size it's going to be. So you can, your notch is here. So,
Becky,
yes.
when are you going to do a class for people to come and do those with you?
Who wants to do that?
Oh, I'm sure there are people out there that would love to come
Well,
and do that.
well then, do what? Just do this?
Yeah, sure.
Ronnie wants a class? You want to embroider yours, or you just want the basics?
Oh,
I gave you all the basics already. Oh, we didn't get time to show you handles tonight.
Well, thank you.
So, okay, when do you want to do a class, Brenda?
we can do it anytime you're available.
Well, keep your eye on the website. We'll put it on there.
All right.
I don't, they just can watch this.
But
No?
no handles.
Oh, that's true. I'm sorry. I owe you handles, and I want to show off an embroidered one, too. But I just thought using the blocks was really My brain was just like, how cute is that?
Good
All right.
job, Brent.
Turn it, baby. Turn it. All right, I'll turn
No,
it.
I want you to. Will you look at it for a second? Because there's there's an adjustment you have to make on the next one you make.
I'm not going to look at that right now.
All I'm saying is that if you didn't account for the half-inch in the boxing of the corners,
Yeah?
so the bottom of your little panels gets folded over a half-inch underneath.
Oh, but I did account for it.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. Oh, this was a different size. I don't know. I will have to figure that out because mine didn't do that. Just saying. Well,
I sewed it, so you can blame it on me. I'm just, you know.
It still looks good.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
no,
it
it
does
looks
still
fan-
look good.
No, it looks fantastic. I'm just saying that I think that if we accounted for the
Because
half
the
inch.
other one was smaller. You didn't account for that on the
We got some strange sewing lines going on over here.
Oh, I mean,
That's
yeah.
okay. All right, so I will look to see if I made an error in my calculations.
I'm not sure. If, like I said, I think the half-inch for the box may have been what, but I could be wrong. It could just be that I suck at sewing.
How cute is that?
The two of you up there arguing.
How cute is that?
I like it.
Beautiful.
Be brave.
I like the bear.
Don't you like the two
See,
tones?
didn't the bear come out all right? Even though
Yes.
my
And
awful.
you should outline it on your embroidery machine like you did the
We
mug rug.
can.
Like the
We
mug rug.
can. See, the sky's the limit. You can. If I tried to do it without an embroidery machine tonight, because I know not everybody has one. But you're right. You could actually outline
You
the
could, yeah.
beautiful bear, and that's another good reason I would use Annie's, because
Then it would puff
you
and
don't
be
have
really
to
cool.
use any
Yeah.
interfacing or stabilizer rather. Annie's is your stabilizer.
Yes.
So it will do both. It allows you to embroider or
Yep.
quilt this and not have to deal with another stabilizer on top of it. So we need to do it again with Annie's.
Okay.
Well,
From when he sewed a hole with the hole in the
hi Trish.
All right.
Is that
Is that all we got for tonight? Are we signing off?
That's how. Isn't that enough, my
I
lord?
know it is. I'm just
Isn't
making
that-
sure.
isn't this cute?
I don't want to be like,
Aren't
get
you
off the
all-
screen.
Don't you all want to just go out and get a few blocks?
Get a couple of.
Imagine if it's a
Let's go get
wayward
some-
block you made that
Just
doesn't
go
have a
get-
home, and
We
it's
just
just
gotta go get some babies so we
you've
can give
already
them
pieced together
presents.
a broken glass block or something, an extra block.
Yeah, just
Right?
Yeah. It's. I like it, and it was easy. And it even turned out nice despite my awful sewing.
I love the two colors. I think it takes it up a whole notch.
It does.
I just think that was a great idea.
Okay. Well, we've gone over in time. Eddie will work
As
his magic
usual.
on Friday
I'm gonna
and turn
finish-
this into something watchable.
Finish pressing this. I'm not sure what happened here.
It's probably my fault. It usually is. Anyway, we'd like to thank you all for watching. It looks like we had quite a few people on there tonight. The more the merrier. Makes it more fun. And like I said, if you want to be part of our live studio audience, just let us know, because there's room. And when we get our studio moved next door,
Or you could put the
it'll be even
animals
better.
the other way around.
And you could put a little chin strap on
You
there.
could have a hat.
Yeah. That looks fantastic. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all so
I need a
long, and
skunk.
be excellent to each other.
I need a skunk.
We can do that.
Okay.